Hi guys, I just come back just so that you didn't think I was rude cutting off so quickly, and I didn't acknowledge anyone who came on, who joined the live chat, because I was doing a 2-minute tune-up. So here I am again. Great to have these little chats. And hi Sammy, sorry Sammy, I wasn't being rude last time. I was just doing that 2-minute tune-up. So I'll come back now just to have a quick chat. I haven't done anything for a while. Well, Rania, how are you, my darling? There's my girlfriend from Thailand. She always pops in to see me. Beautiful, beautiful lady. When am I coming to Thailand to work with you again, Rania? I miss it. Hey? Yeah, that would be great. Anyway, what was I going to say? Yeah, it's. I was going to talk about tomorrow, not tomorrow, Wednesday, for the Now What seminar. I've got some really exciting stuff. How you going, Adam? Linda, sorry, I saw waves underneath. Linda, how you going? I've got some really exciting stuff that I'm going to be talking about on Wednesday, depending how long Brad gives me. But I've got some great stuff, because I've really been thinking lately of putting myself about a bit, because up until now I've been holding myself back an awful lot, and as you all know how powerful your mind is, I've really been putting the brakes on what I'm doing in fear of letting things overtake me. But there's a big groundswell at the moment I'm feeling from people that really do want this information. It's so powerful. I'm having so many great results with clients at the moment. It's just unbelievable. And I had a chat with Val this morning, and I said that I'm really going to get stuck in again. I've already got some gigs lined up in Australia for when I'm over there, and I will be doing some regular stuff from Australia, not least of all to keep you updated, but also to let you see that I'm looking after myself in the sun. So that'll be exciting. So as I say, I've got a few gigs over there, and I'll do some live videos from those gigs. But I'm getting stuck in because I really want so many more people to understand this. Everyone's going around making everything so difficult. And if someone comes up to you and they're selling something and they say it's difficult, it's just so that it aids them to sell their product. This isn't difficult. What you have to do to make it happen can be difficult, because you've got to overcome your limiting beliefs. But the actual thing that you've got to do is simplicity itself. Just know where you are going. That's it. Establish where you are and know where you're going. Now, there are ways that we can do this. Establishing the CMI and how to implant it onto the subconscious. They're the things that you need help with. But basically, if you just did that simple thing of finding out where you're going, how the hell can you get up every morning and not really know where you're going? Hi, Roger. And you don't know where you're going, how can you possibly know? If you entered a race, look at this for an analogy. Or it was a safari race, and you have been given the map, you've been given the destination, lovely, and then someone comes along and joins in, and they don't know where they've got to get to, they've got no map, and they just drive off into the desert, into the forest. They're driving all over the place with no map and no destination. Now, what chance have they got of winning? They've got no chance at all. And that's what you're doing every day. You're getting up every day and going on a safari rally without a map or a destination. Now, if you told someone that, sitting in the pub having a little drink, that you did that, they would think that you were mad. Yet in life, every day you get up and you don't know where you're going. So this is so important. And as soon as you do know that, things happen. I mean, I did a free Skype chat this morning with someone, and they were just chatting away, and they said, oh yeah, so when I get that all sorted out and clear, I work my way back. No, no, because if you don't know how to get there, how are you going to work your way back? You can't do it. All you've got to do is let things unfold, all right? Let things unfold once you know where you're going, and they will. They will. Trust me. Now, there's lots and lots of different bits and pieces, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some regular and live chats like this, where I want people to actually email me their questions, because this information is so important. It's so important. And once you understand it, once you understand the power that you've got, all bets are off. And I get fed up, I get talk till I'm blue in the face, and everyone starts saying that they've got the answer, they want to change things, they want to do things. I don't say don't study any other things as an ego trip. I do it because I know that's what you got to do. I made the mistake initially where I kept sneaking in and looking at other things and trying to fit little bits in. All you need to know is in that book, in The Science of Getting Rich in Plain English. All you need to know. Now, it's confusing, and I've studied it for 25 years, so I can give you the knowledge to move you along quickly, okay? It's having that help to actually form your clear mental image, to establish where you are and all the things, because we've got to include things like gratitude, forgiveness and all that, and they're the things that are difficult things that you've got to do. But listen, it is not difficult. What you have to do is difficult, but what we're doing by establishing where we are and finding out where we want to go is comparatively easy. And this is something that I am so keen to impart this knowledge to people. It's frustrating me that people keep trying to add little bits. I mean, the other day we had the little session of someone on the closed group, Uncle Croz's house. I quite explicitly say to people, when you create your clear mental image, don't include money, an amount of money, because things change. Money might get devalued, anything can happen. So you're limiting the thing. Just put in your clear mental image what you will do with the money. Don't have no mention of money. It's not important to create this image, right? And when you do actually ask for things, always qualify it by saying that or something better, okay? So that all the time you're not limiting what you're asking for, okay? So if you want to join me on live chats where I'm going to answer questions and help you create your, hi Catherine, help you create your clear mental image, okay? And let's get a big groundswell going, because I'm telling you, this is such powerful stuff. And look, I don't do this. I mean, I do enjoy myself. I play golf. I do exactly what I want to do when I want to do it, okay, as a result of these teachings, okay? But you all know my story. 25 years ago, I was gone for all money. I was skint. There was no one as broke as me. You'd have to dig a hole 100 foot deep to be as slow as me in life at that time. And through these teachings, I found my way back, and they're so powerful. I mean, we've got Catherine on here at the moment. She's testimony to how powerful this stuff is, okay? So if you want to be involved, you all know my email, worryfreeuk@gmail.com. Just do that and just put in the subject line question, right? Let's get all those questions together so that we can make these chats really, really productive, okay? Now, if there is anyone on here at the moment who's near Birmingham, or even if you're not near Birmingham, if you want to have a real good tune-up, make sure you get down to, I don't know what the details are, but if you go to www.bradburton.biz/what now, you can get all the details. But I'm going to be there. I've got some It's not new stuff, it's just, but I keep thinking of ways of doing stuff that explains it better, if that makes sense. Because, listen, everyone tries to confuse you, okay? They get you built up into a euphoria, what we spoke about the other day. And then they say, quick, 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 run to the back of the room and buy my course for 5,000, all this. Listen, you don't need that. All you need is a little bit of help in establishing what it is you've got to do and how to do it. And I'm telling you, even if you just find out where you're bloody going for the first time in your life, amazing things will start happening. Okay? So, there we go. Go and get your question sorted. If anyone got a question there, Claire, that she's going on Wednesday, she's looking forward to it. If there's anyone there's got a question now that you want me to answer, please ask, because this information I'm giving you, I'm even doing it now, to be honest with you, I'm even recreating. I've actually obtained what was in my clear mental image from 25 years ago. And some of the things that happened, like I bought houses in America, I didn't say that in my vision, but the universe conspired to take me there to buy them, and they've been a great investment. And what I'm going to do now is I'm creating a new mental image that Val and I are working on at the moment, is because we're thinking of going and buying some property or buy a place in Florida and live 6 months in Florida and 6 months here. And it's the same process. We're going through that now. And once we make our decision, we start living that now and start enjoying the fact that we're going to be in the sun. Once my CMI is written, will it change over time? Yes, but what happens, Catherine, once you get the basis of it, you see that this whole thing about having the clear mental image, the goal, the vision, whatever you want to call it, once you create that, okay, and you start on that track and you sort of have faith and belief, listen, this is all about just training your mind. That's the whole point, is because, as I say, when we get here, when we're a baby, we've got the perfect program for success. And we go through the next 18, 20 years of our life, or however old you are, buggering it up. That program for success. So all this is doing, by giving you that image and that goal, once you start seeing results, that part of your mind comes back, that part of that programming for success. So you don't in effect change your CMI, you adjust it a little bit, but all of a sudden, once you have got faith and belief in this stuff working, it just tends to happen. I've told the story how I met Brad. I just, Val said to me, she said, oh, you better get back in the game, Cross, like you used to, because I was still sort of mucking about on Facebook and doing all those things. And I said, yeah, I can't really, it's too much of a fag trying to establish myself again over here. I said, what I really need is I need to bump into someone who's at the top of their game that I can help, and I can hang on to their shirt tails and get myself up to that level again. Now, the odds of that happening really when I'm not out and about that much now, potter about and do me bits and pieces. But we were on a TV show. We'd been asked on as investors. Thanks, Chrissy. That's lovely. I'm so pleased for you, Chrissy. And you just stick with it. And you're going there Wednesday. We'll have a lovely chat again, darling. That was lovely to see you. And I'm so glad you got so much out of the workshop. So, all of a sudden, we're standing on a TV set. And who's standing next to me? Brad Burton. The channel. I said, what do you do? He said, I'm a motivational dada. I said, well, I used to be in that job. I said, it might be able to help him. I just said a few things in a way that he hadn't heard them said before, and we started chatting, and the rest is history. So that is something very simple. So in answer to your question, Catherine, is can you change your CMI? No, what happens is it changes for you because you feel confident in making these requests, and that's all it's about. Anyone who thinks that what's happening in the universe happens by accident, right? It doesn't. You know, how can you shoot a rocket off up to the moon and land within a metre within 2 or 3 seconds of when you thought it was going to happen? So things are in perfect order, but we just, as the clever people given the brain to make decisions, we're the clever people, so we've buggered it all up. And that's what I try and do. I try and get you back into that childhood, that innocence. And once you get into that innocence and start trying to overanalyze everything and work things out, things just naturally unfold. But it's a case of you being at peace with yourself and relaxed. And we all get so knotted up that what happens is we get into a state of stress, and then we start saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And all the things that don't work when you're nice and relaxed, and you know they don't work, so you don't bother to do them. When you're stressed, you go, oh, I'll do that, and you're so convinced it's going to work because you're going to put that extra bit of effort into it, you're going to put that extra bit of juice into it, and it's going to work. And so all of a sudden we're just digging a deeper hole for ourselves, and there's no need for it. There's no need. This stuff works. It's almost, well, it is. It's a law. It's the same as the law of gravity, is that like causes cause like effects without any exception. But you see, people, they say, well, I don't understand why that hasn't worked for me, because that's what I really want. But it isn't. You see, the thing is, we keep sending out confused messages to the universe. The universe needs clarity. That's why it's got to be a clear mental image. That's why it hasn't got to be fuzzy, or that'll do, or, you know, if I can't get that, I'll have that. No, be clear and concise. Catherine, she was so clear and concise about who she wanted to meet in her CMI that she nearly fell over when he walked into the room, right? Now, I keep confessing to everybody, I haven't bothered to study quantum physics, and I haven't bothered to do all the EMC squareds and all the other things that prove that all the vibrations and all this works. I don't think we need it. I try and say it in a way that is not fluffy and waffle. I say it because it's worked for me. It's worked for thousands of people that I've worked with. I still get people from 25 years ago keeping in touch with me, keeping me up to date with what they're doing. How about a guy that was a carpenter in my young entrepreneurs class, wanted to be a pilot? 5 years ago, he qualified as a pilot for Qantas. I'm not dreaming these things. I don't make these things up. And that's why when I do the workshops, I actually bring people along to talk about what's happened to them, because listen, I don't make it up. I couldn't make it up. It's so amazing what happens. Hang on, there's a question coming here. How do you make your message clear? Well, we go through that in the workshops, and you know, that gives you, listen, I've been studying this for 25 years and having great success teaching people about it, talking about it. So listen, I'm in tune with it, and that's really what you've got to do. You've got to get into tune with it. But the clarity is that any message or any image that you're creating at the moment, whether you like it or not, is controlled by what you think you can achieve. And what you think you can achieve has got you here, right? What you think you can achieve has got you exactly where you are now, because if you knew any better, you wouldn't be where you are now, right? So what you've got to do is you've got to not limit what you're thinking about, not limit your mental image. It's got to be what you want. And it hasn't got to be airy-fairy like, oh, I want lots of holidays and I want this. Where do you want those holidays? What does it look like? Where do you want to live? How do you want to live? What do you want to happen? How do you see your relationship with your family? All this, and breathe it, enjoy it and love it. Just report back on it as the first person. You're actually commenting on it. And I say that it's like when you want to go on holiday, okay? And you get a brochure and you look at the brochure and you look at and you go through and say, oh yeah, hang on a minute, let's go to Ibiza. So you look at, oh, look at that, the beautiful sea and the this and the sun. So when you've got that image, the minute you put your deposit down on that holiday, you start enjoying it. Even if it's not till the summer, till 6 months away. All the time when you're feeling a bit low, you think, oh, I'll get through this because I'm thinking of that lovely, the beach, the sun and all that. But when we want to create an image for our future, we start loading it with hurdles and barriers, right? Do it. Just imagine it as if it's your brochure for your holiday. That's your clear mental image. That's what you want. And when you're on holiday, you're imagining all these good things happening, right? Great, because it's the feeling of the holiday that's creating the enjoyment now. It's thinking about the holiday that's giving you a good feeling now, and it brings you along. And do you see how this, everything's all interacted, but we try and complicate it. So when you think of your clear mental image and you put a few little bits in it that you go, oh, it's a bit of a push, you go, yeah, but it always happens to other people. It will never happen. It will never happen for me because I'm just little old me and I've just got to make do with what life throws at me, really. Rubbish. Rubbish. Every single one of you, every single person, right, has got exactly the same tools to use. Okay? Why do you think that you can be doing exactly the same thing as someone else, right? And you think you're doing exactly the same and they're making a success of their life and you're not. Do you know what it is? They either by default are living in a certain way, which includes having a clear mental image, or they know this information, right? And that's the only way, or well, there is a third way, and that's by competition and deceit you can actually create things. But as Wallace says in the book, that is only yours on loan. If you get it by deceit or through being competitive and all that sort of thing, it's not yours. It's not yours to keep. And a lot of people that do that find out, Mr. Philip Green's finding that out at the moment, that things are all falling apart because he was convinced that when he got his big pile of money that he'd be able to get the happiness and the mindset to enjoy it, and it don't work that way. The feeling creates the result every single time. There's no way around that. There's no way you can say, when this happens, I'll do that, because you don't. You just don't do it. You've got to be in the state of mind how you want to arrive now. So basically, you've got to make now where you want to be. Okay? Is that making any sense? Let me know. Do a little couple of arts or something if it's making any sense, because my things don't look like anyone's spoken to me for a while. So did that answer your question, Abigail? How do you make your message clear? And only you can do that. And this is the thing is, I can help you create your clear mental image. I can help you with all the things that I found to be true. And this works with mathematical certainty. The only thing that can spoil this is the same part of your brain that's buggered up your program for success since you were a baby. Yeah, and preferably, Abigail, and I'm giving a little secret away here, which I shouldn't do really, but preferably, the first thing you do is you draw your clear mental image. Once you're in the right, but you've got to be in the right mindset to do it, and that's what we do at the workshop. We spend all day getting you into the right mindset to draw it. And you don't have to be an artist, but you draw down, and it's a lot easier to draw the things. And you tend to find that because you've got crayons and the thing, that you go back into that space, that childlike space, and it's very easy to draw a little car and a house of what you want. Then once you've got the picture, then you can create the image from that. You put yourself in that picture and report on it at the first as the first person, you're actually put yourself into the picture, and the family's in there and the holidays are in there, it's all written down, and then you just work from there. So see, I've spent 25 years working out how to make this stuff easy, and I do upset a lot of people, trust me, because they're all going around saying it's difficult and that you've got to tap your head and you've got to do that. Now, if you cannot focus, listen to this, if you cannot focus on something that you want and desire in the future, if that's not enough to focus you, tapping your head and doing all these other things to get you to focus, it don't count for anything. You've got to realise that where you want to go, nothing can stop you getting there, providing it's what you want. Now, it's no use creating a vision that includes things that you think would be good, right? So you think, oh, it'd be nice to have a big boat. Don't worry about getting a big boat. Find a friend with one, right? The trouble people have with big boats is finding people to go on them with them, because what they've done is ignored everyone in the process of getting that big boat, and they think that they'll have all the fun and games when they get there. Now, if you're a miserable bastard all the way through, when you get there, you're still a miserable bastard. You've lost all your friends on the way through. So, see, this is all a whole, complete, holistic thing that you've got to do. It's about now. The main thing is living now, but knowing where you're going. So you're taking this enjoyment with you because you know where you're going. Good morning, Mark. How are you? Hang on, sorry, there's one is struggle with reality of what I want. Yes, I would like the money, but that's just not enough for me. I struggle to really think of what I want. Who's that? I can't see who that was. I'll answer that. You see, I struggle to really think of what I want, because that's your programming. That's your limit. It all happens to other people, doesn't it? We've got people that live next door to each other doing the same job, where some of them are rich and the bloke next door's poor, yet they go to the same place every day, might even hold hands walking up the street, I don't know, but they're doing exactly the same thing. But one of them knows where he's going and the other one don't. That's it. That is the only reason. That's why people, and every single biography, the autobiography, what you read of people, whether knowingly or unknowingly, they know where they're going. Right? So everyone who's made a success of their life, everyone who's arrived where they want to arrive, has had that clear mental image, right? And some of them have had nasty mental images because their mental, just shared your video, let them know that you appreciate it. Oh, who's that? Just you. Okay, lovely. I don't understand that one. It's all a bit high tech for me, isn't it? Silly old bastard. I don't know what I'm doing here, really. Can you imagine that? You see, when I was a youngster, someone told me I could be doing this, sitting here talking to people in real time, all around the world. We've got people from Australia, Thailand and America on here at the moment. That's unbelievable, isn't it? Right? You imagine if you'd have thought of this, right, 25 years ago, you'd have got locked up. And here it is happening, right? Here's a little test for you. Here's a little test for you, right? How you going, Steve? He's going to be one of my success stories, young Steve Taylor. He's getting into it, you see? And the thing is, don't worry. Don't hang about with people that's going to spoil your dream, who say you'll never get it, right? Don't hang about with them. They ain't no good, are they? Find some people, share your dreams, share your clear mental image with people. Let them know what you're doing. And that's the greatest thing. I mean, it happened to someone that came to a course on December the 2nd. They were all fuzzy about what they were doing, and all of a sudden they focused. They knew exactly where they were going, what they were doing, and they started talking now about what they were going to do in the future. And that person's had 2 interviews, one on the BBC and one on a big thing up in Edinburgh, purely and simply because he knew what he was doing, and he was speaking with authority. Hi, Tim. He was speaking with authority because he knew where he was going. For the first time in his life, he knew where he was going. So he made sense. And when he started speaking to people about what he was going to do, it all made sense. And then they said to him, cool, that's interesting. Can you come and have a chat, have an interview with us? So it all sounds strange, and sometimes so young Tim's just joined us there, and I give him a bit of a tune up, but you see, sometimes that's what you've got to do to people. I had someone on today, and she was talking about her business, and going on about oh well, we're waiting for this bit of legislation to go through, and we need this bit of paper and that bit of paper. I said, oh yeah. I said, and are you going to definitely do this business? Yeah, yeah. I said, well, what's your? And she's sitting there moaning about the inactivity at the moment. I said, oh yeah. So, what's your logo look like? What's your branding look? Oh well, we ain't done that. Well, why not? Rather than sitting here moaning about there's nothing to do, why not get on with that? And how does the what do the bottles look like, and what does this look like, and what does that look like? Now, see, when you look at things from a different place, or you look at them outside looking in on things, and we all sit there moaning, and yet there's so much more we could be doing, but we're only looking at the problem, right? And any problem can be enormous, can't it? I do the drawing, don't I? Have the big bomb, and you're holding the big bomb as the problem. But when you stand back from it, it's really only a tiny little bomb. Wouldn't have enough power to blow your brains out, because it's a tiny little bomb, really. But we give it such importance, and we start looking, it's such a big problem. It's such this. Stand back from things and look at things from a distance. And when you move away, things always get smaller, don't they? Right? So you move away, look at it, appraise the situation, and then all of a sudden you see all the things that you're not doing, right? You're not concentrating on the thing that's, oh, that's holding us up. You see, the funny thing is, we all do it. We all do it. I, tend to sort of, work my way around this now, but we all do it. We all have our excuses, right? And that for failure. So we set up and we go, yeah, well, I'm waiting till this happens before I can do anything. Why? If you're going to do it, why not do all the other bits that you're going to need to do? Why wait for that to be the starting gun? If that's holding you up, put it over there for a minute and get on with the other bits. And also, it not only moves you forward quicker, but it takes your mind off the bloody problem, right? So, we're all our own worst enemy. But the only thing that I can say with complete conviction is this information is the most powerful stuff you will ever hear, right? I try and give it to you without any waffle, without any fluff. So I don't get to a situation where you've got to hug a tree with a big floppy cardigan on or something like that. I don't know, all them funny things. You don't need to build it up. I take away all the waffle, right? The only thing that you've got to do is you've got to believe that there's a power. And anyone who's watching this, who thinks there's no power, there's nothing controlling all this. I mean, forget what you call it, for not religion or nothing like that. But it's got to be something, surely, that's organising all this, that makes the seasons come, that germinates plants and does all that sort of thing. So once you believe that, David, there's an Australian visitor there, David. We're going to sort something out for the real estate people over there. I'm going to do a lovely workshop for you when I get over there. Coming in February. Going to bring some of my nice bright shirts with me, and we'll be sorted out. Now I've lost my track now, look. It's an age thing. It's an age thing. So, where was I? No, it's gone. See, there's a crazy thing. I'll have to... That's the trouble with busking stuff, isn't it? But anyway, I had to say hello to David because he's come all the way from Australia. But, I was going on about the power. See that? Look at the mind. As soon as I let it go, the answer came in. Right? That's the power of it. But we don't do it. We want to be in that vicious, I've got to make things happen brain. And the minute we relax, everything sorts itself out. Unbelievable. Don't ask me how that works, but it does. So anyway... We were talking about there being a power. So that's one of the things, you see. Every single thing in nature is programmed for success. Even us, when we get here, we're programmed for success. The only thing in nature that buggers that program up is the human being, right? And we do it because over time, with fear. So we tell you know, Neanderthal man would be training its child to be aware of a saber-toothed tiger. We don't need to do that no more, fortunately. Walking down Staines High Street, you don't see many saber-toothed tigers, but that was all the start of it, where you'd done it to educate people, to train them in the ways of the world. Then what happened there was, as things get more difficult now, we've got the snowflake generation, and where we sort of protect people from everything. You know, you can't say what you think anymore, you can't do certain things because we've got to protect everyone. And that's a false world. It's got to turn around in a minute and come back to the real world. But at this point in time, so we get programmed of people say, don't do that in case something goes wrong. And I wouldn't do that because I know someone who did that and it all went wrong. Okay, so we've got this programming that stops us doing things. So what I do is I jump in your head and I shuffle it all about, juggle it all up, and we get all those voices that are telling you can't do things, right? And once you change from I can't to I can, the switch goes and everything sorts itself out. Seriously, this is powerful stuff, kids. I just wish I had a magic wand where I could just stick it on your head and get you to understand it. But it's absolute, it's not magic, but it's magical what happens, seriously. And I would love each and every one of you to be able to get the benefit of it. And everyone can, but everyone brings in all other bits and pieces and complicate things. And so, listen, you don't need anything more than Uncle Croz tells you to make a success of your life, seriously. And that success is written by you. Could do with you on speed dial, yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, see, I answer questions and all the bits, but no one can flick that switch. I can just tell you why you should flick it. But even some people, they lie to themselves. They got their fingers crossed behind their backs. Oh, yeah, I do believe that. And they're saying, I do, yes, that's exactly, yes, oh, yes, I believe that, I understand. Oh, yes. But in the back of their head is Uncle Bill. He's going, don't be bloody stupid. That won't happen. You're different. We're different. We come from the East End of London. That don't happen to people like us. Well, I can tell you it does. It happens to lots of people from all different places. And the other great thing about this is you don't need to be in any certain position to start. Now, if you've got a few quid, it makes it a bit easier to move forward, but not too much. Businesses started with a lot of money. They're not as successful ever as the ones that are started on guts and guile and ducking and diving. You know, and then all of a sudden, the money you need generates itself. They're the best businesses. I know the mistake of having too much money to set a business up. I did, instead of having stick-on etching, I had real proper sandblast etching. I had to send the windows away and get them all done. That made a lot of difference, didn't it? But it helped get rid of the money that we were trying to spend to set the business up and give us, you know, oh yeah, look, we've nearly spent all the 250 grand. What a load of rubbish. Anyway, I'm rambling now. I'm rambling. There's Beth. You've left it too late, Beth. We're just about to wrap up, so you'll have to watch the replay, darling. Okay? And good luck on your VA group. I think that's going to be fantastic, because it's like the old team metaphor, isn't it? Together, everyone achieves more. So you VAs all get together. Everyone put your little bit of expertise in, right? So there's someone gets a client where they need a specialist and someone's a better fit, then start swapping them about with each other. Be creative, and everything will sort itself out. Okay? So listen, if you can get along there on Wednesday, do that. If you can get to one of my workshops, I won't be doing another one till May, and that's in Chippenham. That'll be on the, I think it's the 5th of May. That's in Chippenham. And then we'll be doing a few next year. When I get back from Australia, all tanned and a bit slimmer. I don't know if I need to be too much slimmer. I feel comfortable. Then we're going to get really stuck in. But all the time I'm away, I'm going to be coming in, I'm going to be reporting in, having a chat, and, you know, as I said earlier, if you've got any questions, get them through. Then the next time I come on, I can work through the questions and give you all the answers. Because listen, there's loads of questions. Because you sort of say, this is precise. So when something's going wrong, it's you that is the problem. That's what we've got to find out, why it's not working for you. But provided that you do it exactly as you're told, it can't fail. So when things go wrong, don't keep looking around the place for someone else to blame. All right? Because, hi Linda, because no one to blame but yourself. We're our own worst enemy. And when I do my workshops and things, in fact, what I might do is I might get this done with my little drawing board in the back, and I don't have to film it from the other side, but we can do it so that I can do the things, because I feel sort of, I can't speak as well unless I can do a little drawing to illustrate it. But I do illustrate how our brain gets sorted, and the little bit, we've got one tiny little bit in our brain that is left over from when we was a child, when we had that perfect program, and it's left over from that period of time, and that's the bit we have to keep getting into to make things happen. Because that's where I just went when I forgot what I was doing. I went on knowing, see, I know how to use it. You see, I went on and immediately I forgot about it as a problem. Boom! The answer popped in my head. That's how powerful it is. Yet we've got that brain, part of our brain, that works for us when we're all relaxed. And we've got to go and start guiding it and pushing it. So anyway, kids, I'm going to hit the road. I've got to go and do a bits and pieces, and I've got get myself packed. I'm leaving tomorrow, going up to Birmingham to the show. So I'll be there, and we're going to have a little bit of question and answer, and then I'll hang about afterwards. So if anyone there's got any questions or wants to have a chat, I'm going to be there, make myself available. But just listen, tell your friends, tell everyone you know there's a mad, silly old bastard who's got all these ideas and things that helps you make a success, or don't help you, will make a success of your life, providing that you don't put all the what ifs into it. Just relax and do it, and you'll be amazed at what happens. Love you all. Karen, you've left it too late, darling. Watch the replay. I love you all, and if you've got any questions, don't forget to send them through. Okay? Lovely, and we'll talk soon. Thanks a lot.